Was the set of That 70s Show toxic? Let's get into it. Within the past days, stories have been coming out about the beloved hit TV series That 70s Show being a toxic work environment. After Danny Masterson, who plays Stephen Hyde in the sitcom, was sentenced to 30 years in prison for sexual assault. The internet has been digging up stories from the show to uncover its toxic past. From producers using Mila Kunis, who was then just 14 years old, as multiple characters' love interest, to people digging into Wilmer Valderrama's history of grooming young Hollywood stars, and Ashton Kutcher's nonchalant predatory behavior towards Mila Kunis. The cast of That 70s Show are under a microscope right now and have a lot to be worried about. Danny Masterson, known for his role as the troublemaker Stephen Hyde in the sitcom, has been sentenced to 30 years to life in prison following a retrial for the sexual assault of 2 out of 3 of the victims he was initially accused of assaulting. These assaults were reported to have taken place between 2001 and 2003, during his time as a cast member on That 70s Show. Despite maintaining his innocence, the actor was found guilty on 2 of 3 forcible sexual assault charges in May. The judge delivered guilty verdicts for 2 2003 cases, but they were unable to reach a decision concerning an accusation dating back to November 2001, involving a former girlfriend, despite the majority of jurors leaning toward conviction. Following the dismissal of a defense request for a new trial earlier on Thursday, the judge handed down the maximum allowable sentence in accordance with the law. This means that Masterson may be considered for parole after serving 25.5 years, but could also possibly face life imprisonment. The defense aimed to have the 2 convictions serve their sentences concurrently, requesting a 15-year-to-life term. In contrast, the prosecution advocated for the full sentence of 30 years to life, which Masterson was eligible for. "I know that you're sitting here steadfast in your claims of innocence, and thus no doubt feeling victimized by a justice system that has failed you," the judge told Masterson before revealing the sentence. "But Mr. Masterson, you are not the victim here. Your actions 20 years ago took away another person's voice and choice. One way or another, you will have to come to terms with your prior actions, and their consequences," the judge stated. Prosecutors claimed that Masterson leveraged his prominence within the Church of Scientology, an organization to which all 3 women belonged at the time, to evade legal repercussions for many years following the assaults. The women attributed their reluctance to report Masterson to the church's influence. At the sentencing hearing, one of the women, who was involved in the church, said she was shunned at the church for going to authorities. "I lost everything. I lost my religion. I lost my ability to contact anyone I'd known or loved my entire life," she said. "I didn't exist outside the Scientology world. I had to start my life all over at 29. It seemed the world I knew didn't want me to live," the victim stated. Masterson starred with Ashton Kutcher, Mila Kunis, Wilmer Valderrama, and Topher Grace in That 70s Show from 1998 until 2006. With all of the commotion, this has led fans to dig into the show's past, revealing disturbing stories about the problematic history of some of the cast members on the show. Wilmer Valderrama, who played Fez on the show, has a more than disturbing dating history. When he was 20, he dated This Is Us actress Mandy Moore, who was 15 at the time. Moore told Howard Stern that she met Valderrama at a photo shoot for, some teen magazine literally when I was 15. "I was pretty innocent. Again, never French kissed a boy. He was like my first real, true boyfriend," Moore stated. In 2006, Valderrama told Stern that he was the first person to sleep with Moore, which Moore has since denied. When Valderrama was 24, he dated Lindsay Lohan when she was 18, where they had a rapid and intense love affair. This happened as Lindsay was rising to the pinnacle of her fame following the release of Mean Girls, while Wilmer was basking in the ongoing success of That 70s Show. Their relationship lasted for merely 2 months, during which they became engaged, only to call off their engagement just 2 months later. Lindsay later confided to Howard Stern that Valderrama was her first love. After that relationship, Valderrama, then 29, had a relationship with 17-year-old Demi Lovato, who was 12 years his junior. That relationship was the most enduring one he had experienced up to that point, spanning nearly 6 years with occasional breaks. Several months after their initial encounter, Valderrama and Lovato were caught in a passionate embrace in front of his residence. Over the next few years, the couple maintained a low-profile on- and off relationship until 2014, when they began publicly expressing their admiration for each other through online and social media posts. However, the couple decided to part ways in 2016. While people are trying to wrap their heads about Valderrama's questionable dating history, a video has resurfaced of an interview with Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis on The Rosie O'Donnell Show, where Ashton explains how Danny Masterson once bet Ashton Kutcher, then 20 years old, $10 to French kiss Mila Kunis on the set of That 70s Show when she said she was just 14 years old, which she said was her first ever. "It was like the first week," Kunis said. "I was a 14-year-old little girl, and I was extremely scared for my life." He said Masterson bet him $20 that he wouldn't do it, to which Kutcher said he told him he would, shrugging it like it wasn't a big deal. Kunis said Kutcher never succeeded in his attempt to French kiss her because she didn't let him, even though he proudly claimed that he did. The clip has since gone viral, with social media users expressing disgust about the bet and the fact that it happened when Kunis was underage. In another interview that has recently been recirculating, Mila Kunis, then 19, talks about how the writers of That 70s Show had made her character kiss most of the characters on the show, stating, "I'm the one that's kissed every guy on the show except Topher," claiming, "Yes, it's quite wrong. Have no choice but to kiss every man on the show." Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, who shared the screen with Masterson, were among 50 individuals who wrote letters to the judge in his defense. Kunis claimed Masterson had remarkable character, while Kutcher described him as a role model, saying that he was a dedicated colleague and a source of inspiration for me. Kutcher claimed that Masterson helped him to avoid the typical Hollywood lifestyle of substance abuse. On Saturday, Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis issued an apology video for the character letters they composed in support of their fellow That 70s Show actor Danny Masterson before his recent sentencing, amid internet outcry. Through an Instagram video, Kutcher and Kunis expressed their regret for any pain their letters may have caused. They clarified that the letters were originally intended for the judge's review, and were not meant to undermine the victims' testimonies or cause them further distress. Kutcher stated, "We would never want to do that, and we're sorry if that has occurred." Kutcher explained that Masterson's family had approached them after the actor's conviction in May, and requested character letters that described the individual they had known for 25 years. These letters were subsequently made public to The Hollywood Reporter and other digital outlets. However, one co-star from That 70s Show didn't join this wave of support: Topher Grace, the show's lead. It has long been known that Grace maintained some distance from the cast. While most of the cast appeared tight-knit, Grace seemed more reserved and even left the show before its conclusion. Although this may have led to reports of him being challenging to work with at the time, fans are now speculating whether Grace was aware of what was happening with Masterson and the toxic environment of the show. Needless to say, it seems to appear that the set of That 70s Show was a place for these men to abuse their power and create a toxic and dangerous environment. With all of this coming out, do you think we should hold the other actors accountable for their actions as well? What do you think about all of it? Let us know in the comments below. If you liked watching this video, then hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you always stay informed with all the latest celeb news as soon as it's out. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next one!